be crazy. And let's see, a premium for X Twitter is required. What? A premium account on X
I
Twitter?
believe we are live. Mine came up, said live.
We are live. Let me remove that one. We want to add and then save.
Hello.
And then
You okay, Jay?
yes. You are live. I know. I'm just going over everything. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, I was getting everything set up, situated. We got our guest in the back today. I don't want to leave my man waiting any longer than I already did. I almost zoned out and just started going over all this stuff. So we got a master distiller in the house from Hoochie. Was it Hoochie Hooch? A Hoochie Hooch distillery or Hoochie Hooch? That's
Hoochie
what
Hooch.
it is.
Hoochie Hooch.
That's what it is. And when I saw the name,
I'm like, that's different place.
Yeah, right. Different place, man. Anyway,
that's a place up on the hill in the back. That's Hoochie Hooch.
Yeah, right. Hey, he's back here laughing. We're gonna bring him out anyways. It's Mr. Joe Lawhorn, everybody. Bam.
Welcome, Joe.
There he is. What's up,
What's going on?
All right.
Welcome,
sorry about
Joe.
all that.
Welcome.
I was in my little bit of tech mode going there. I was trying to get everything all up there. Oh, Mr. Daniel Stevens.
Oh no, you're all good. Yeah, you're all good, brother. I just had to shut some stuff down over here for a minute, so just got to the end of that little stripping run. So
we got Daniel Stevens already tonight. We already got Daniel Stevens.
Mr. Daniel.
You know who the real outlaw is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man, dude, I tell you. He can run, but he can't hide. He's too big. Anyway.
He can't run either. He can't run. He can't hide.
It's about like me, crippled up, trip over your own feet, or you got to take off, huh?
Right, exactly. So I tell you what, man, like, I'm going to put this out there first. Like, I don't know how it was, bro, but you came across my feed and I started like, all right, I'm going to check into this guy. So I was looking into you. I was creeping you, bro, for a couple days. I'm sure your ears were itching and shit. You know,
burning off, man. You don't see the neck. They started burning me up.
Right. So I was creeping on you, and I'm like, I think what sealed it for me was I saw a picture of this giant buck on your Facebook page, and I'm like,
oh damn.
Hey, that's the other half of heavy metal moonshine right there, dude. Because like,
oh yeah,
my man over there, like, that's what he was sponsored hunter. Like, he did all this craziness, man. So I was like, I gotta have this guy on the show, dude. Plus, he makes moonshine. That's just a bonus.
Sir, yeah, that buck you saw on my Facebook, that's my PB. So that's my bow kill within, just over 30-yard bow kill with a Matthews. So,
and where was that?
It's hard to do that. It's Richland County, Ohio, actually, Central Ohio, right between Cleveland and Columbus. Yes, sir.
Tell us about that hunt. What time of the year was it? Was it during the rut, pre-rut? Were you laying down any scents like that? How did you set up on this deer? Did you catch him on camera first, or what? How did you get this buck?
Man, actually, with that buck, I set up on him for just over 2 years. Actually, I was hunting a place I've been hunting for about 12 years. I mean, I don't hunt there now, but I go back. But we kind of just set some trail cams up. We just kind of seen just a little, just a half of a rat come through. It was probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning at that time. And so, we just started looking. We set up more trail cams, within, we have like 40 acres and we could just hunt, with woods and, field corn and soybeans. So we set those up and we kind of watched it there for a little bit, throughout the rest of that year and then throughout the summer. And then beginning of that next year, we ended up getting him on trail camera at the neighbors, which is actually, it's private property. It's actually Honeysuckle Farms. They go there. People come in to big pumpkin patches and stuff. And so we kind of set up on it and just over the edge of the field right there, and it was actually when I killed him, it was just at the end of rut. So he almost made it. He almost made it another year. So, but all in all, I mean, like I said, we just, what's that?
Sometimes you kill them big bucks late in the season too. In that second rut, you can't kill them then. I've seen some big deer late in the season like that.
Not me.
A lot of guys don't like to bow hunt when it's cold like that. So sometimes you have the woods for yourself.
That's just because they're. I think the ones that don't want to get out there when it's cold, I just don't think they got enough meat on their bones, man. So you gotta be faithful. Yeah, you gotta be a little bit faithful to be out there to stand, or something like that in the wintertime, especially with the bow. There's a lot of dangers in there coming into factor with them bows too. Though you got to pull them back, bust a limb, smack yourself in the face. Get hurt. So
see, I'm one of them guys that I think what ruins me is I can see my house from the tree stand. So, so when my feet get cold, game over.
Were you in a tree stand? Were you in a tree stand when you shot this deer?
Oh yeah, I was. I was about 24 feet up. So
okay,
like I said, I went in. We put a lot of work into over to that farm over in Ashland, Ohio, where we hunted at. So we put a lot of work into it. A few of us was over there.
Did he drop?
Man, most of the time, killing them big bucks is like that. You're usually watching them for a couple years, and then and then you get lucky on them setting up. But sometimes you get lucky, and one comes out of nowhere. You've never seen him before. Shows up on your property during rut, and you're like, "Where did this hammer come from? I've never seen him before."
That's kind of how it worked out the year before that. Like I said, and then we watched him over there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, I bet. So. And then, but he did disappear a little bit, during pre-rut and right in the middle of peak rut. He did disappear for a little bit. So we just kind of anxious, we didn't know if he was still there, or still around. And then we just set up one early morning, got in about an hour and a half before day, before dawn. Got set up, climbed up. Me and my buddy was in a double stand. He was above me, I was below him. Man, next thing you know, you hear, don't move. Your heart starts pounding. Next thing you know, you go, oh man, here we come. Here we come. It's game time. You get pulled up
get it on film?
Sitting there. What's that?
Did you film that?
He did on a cell phone, but I mean, we ain't got no big cameras. We didn't come from nothing like that, So we had to use what we had to use. So
hey, a lot of times
you can get good videos sometimes with those kind of cameras.
You can, yeah. I mean, you can, but nowadays, I mean, you got them big iPhones and all that stuff. Then but I mean, a few years back, I mean,
yeah.
So let's talk about what's behind you there, man. I could see a whole bunch of stuff back there in the background. Yeah.
You talking about the master here? Or you talking about over here? That's the question, though.
Well, I mean, over there, I see a lot of jars.
All around there.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you this much. Let's just start it off. We got this sign right here behind me. So everything to this side of me is just gonna be all sipping creams. We proof everything down from 110 to 40 for our creams. And altogether, we got over 50 flavors total. It's Hoochie Hooch Distillery. So, and then from this sign over, everything here that you can see through, we proof everything at 110 proof. Bring it down from about 170 and drop everything down with artesian well water we got right here on the property.
Oh, damn, man. That's what's up, dude.
And then the main base from it all is going to be this old girl right here. Can't go wrong with the original White Lightning, boys.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was checking that out today. There's a lot of flavors there. A lot of flavors.
Yep.
Like the banana cream, and was there like a banana chocolate cream or something like that? Chocolate.
I got a chocolate almond candy. I mean, we kind of based it off of we based it off of like an Almond Joy candy bar. So when we go to flavor with it, we do use real Hershey's chocolate, and so it's a cream, so you will get some separation in it.
Right.
But I mean, it's got the strong almond in there. It's got the coconut flavor plus right along with that chocolate. So you can't go wrong with it. Tastes just like you're biting into a bar.
I can taste it. While you're talking about it, I feel like I can taste it a little bit. My mouth's watering a little.
Hey, that sounds good. I start shipping on the 1st, so keep that in mind.
Oh, I see. You shipped 32 states?
34, I believe. Yep.
Sorry, 34. I was close, man. I was
close. If it could be 49, minus Alabama, then I could take it. But I gotta give all the props to the owner here, man. I mean, Jennifer White. I mean, she's amazing. I mean, she started all this. So if it wasn't for her, man, I mean, I'd have a long road ahead of me on this route.
I see that she's a nurse.
Well, she's a registered nurse. Yes, sir.
Okay,
she's a traveling nurse.
So that's always good to have on site because, I mean, you and I both know It's not if it's going to go wrong, it's when it goes
When.
wrong.
I know
It's
that's
going to
right.
go wrong, man. We've all been there.
Not many people better medicating you than nurses. They know how to medicate you. You know what I'm saying?
And they stitch you
They
back
take
up.
care of you. They medicate you. They take care of you. So it makes sense that she would be preparing and helping prepare the medications, you know? Oh, we lost him there for a second.
Sorry about that. I had a call come in. Sorry about that.
Boom. He was like,
it's all good.
So out of
sometimes stuff happens.
I think how many flavors you have total there?
Just in the shop, I think it's 54.
Holy fudge sickles. 54. All right. So out of that 54 flavors, do you have a top 5?
Yeah, I actually do. We have an award-winning blackberry. We took gold medal, first place, best of the South Spirits, and we took second place in the United States with that. That's 2 years running. So I have the blackberry. It's going to be a blueberry pineapple. And then I have to kind of jump over to my butter pecan sipping cream. And then I'm going to have to go with...
that sounds good, man. I want that.
Listen, you boys will have to take a trip down here to Southeast Alabama now. That's all I'm going to tell you.
We're going to.
We're going for sure, dude. I want that pecan sipping cream. Like, so that's what I had to make on the show with sipping cream. And
yeah.
Bro, before I even did that, I honestly think I tried one, and it definitely wasn't meant to be the way I tried it. Well, we'll just say this.
They never are, man.
Certain things don't belong in a thing called sipping cream, and it's like Jello. Like, dude, I'll never do that again. Dude, because I was just like, dude, this is just like, no. That's not even real. Like, dude, that's a cheap way of doing it, you know?
Yeah, like, what did I just do?
Yeah, right, exactly. Guess where it is? It's in the back of my refrigerator. Now it's real thick, like pudding now. So it's not, no good, bro. No good.
You're gonna have to pull the lid off of that one and see if the dog even likes the smell of it. So
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So my question for you is,
just scoop it out, throw it in the bottom of a dessert thing, and put a little whipped cream and then some chocolate and make it into some kind of like, people wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, just serve it at a party on a platter. It'd be all right. Don't take them like hors d'oeuvres.
It's the new party custard, man.
Yeah.
So here's my question, man. When did you start? Like, how long have you, like, when did you decide that distilling was going to be your profession?
My kind of go-to? Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, I kind of grew up a little bit, around the stills, growing up. Like I said, a lot of my family's from, Southeast Kentucky, in Virginia, Northwestern Virginia and stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of always been there in the blood. I mean, growing up, you get the passion for it. As you get a little bit older, you start tasting some of it. So I kind of got to say, probably close to 15 years ago, it kind of grabbed a hold of me a little bit stronger and just kind of said, come here. I'm not going to let you go for a little while. Let's see what you can do with me.
So you've been on it for a good part of 15 years then?
Yeah, 15, 16 years, somewhere through there. Legal side of it, just kind of here recently. So other than that, it's just like everybody else when they start out, it's either in your back porch or down in the woods on the holler on the creek side. So
right, dude. And the best part is it's like, it's really cool to see somebody like in your shoes, take the opportunity and roll with it, like, because it's so hard out there now to find a good place to work, or and have
doing something you love. You love, making moonshine. I mean, come on, man.
Well, see, I mean, for the most part, it's not even about what you love. I mean, for moonshine, I mean, you got to have that passion for it. I mean, you can love something all you want, but love fades away, man. But the passions, they stick with you. They ride to die with you. So
that's true.
This is what we say. We turn passions into obsessions.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm kind of turning that obsession more into the passion, but flipping it around. But
all right.
Turn passion into obsession. Shit. That's a good shirt, Jason. Heavy metal moonshine.
Passion we turned that passion
into obsession.
Because listen, if you're not obsessed about it, then you're not going to put your everything into it, right?
Exactly. It's like when you got a job that you love, you don't go to work, man. You just kind of go visit with your friends.
Yeah, right. See, and then that's what I want. And then like I could be visiting with my friends and shit, and then like my other part can't yell at me because I'm still at work.
And
what my friends
you ain't getting shit. You ain't getting nothing done. You ain't getting nothing done.
Right.
That's how it was the last 8 years before I moved from Ohio, from Central Ohio down to here. I worked in an asphalt company back in Mansfield, Ohio. It's called S&S Asphalt and Sealing. His name's Dennis Cavani. Best person you'd ever meet in your life, man. I mean, he'll get the shirt off your back for you. And if you'd see him on the street, you try to ask him something, he'd be like, "Who's this guy?"
Right.
You know.
They all just showed up, Christy. Sorry.
So we got so many scrobs up here.
Yeah. Well, listen.
What's up, Scroggs?
Hey, he's an awesome guy, dude. Mr. Scroggs. He's funny. He only wants to talk to me when he wants to talk to me, though.
He must not have talked to you since the last cast. I'm just messing with you, man.
Listen, he was like the first, like when like my show aired, the next morning, did I get a call? I never met the guy, never even talked to him, dude. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this just because. And he was I've been talking to him ever since, man.
Heck yeah, that's what's up, man.
He's super cool. Now, what about fishing? Are you a fisherman too? You fish as well, or you just ended up more?
Yeah, I hunt and I fish, man. Like I said, I'm an outdoorsman, and then when it comes to dirt track racing, it's a whole nother game right there. So I mean, I kind of grew up in it. One side of my family was the hunting and fishing type, and the other side of the family was the dirt track racing. So, and it's still true in my blood. On my dad's side, still the hunting and fishing. On my mom's side, it's still the dirt tracking. So they still do it to this day. And he's actually, man, them boys are. You have to look them up on YouTube and all that stuff. I'll send you guys the names of it. You'd be surprised how good they are.
That's super.
Do you like to go catfishing?
Oh, yeah, any type. Actually, listen. Actually, the past 2 days I've been down to pier down Florida, so catching king mackerels in Spanish. So
the ocean is the best. Ocean fishing to me, I like ocean fishing the best.
That's because everything's out to eat you. So
yeah, exactly. It's survival of the fittest out there, bro. It's either me or you. You know what I mean?
It's an eat or get ate world out there at the ocean. So
you know the difference when you hook an ocean fish. You hook an ocean fish, man. They will smoke your reel. You know what I mean? It's a different ball game.
Yes,
that's true. Yeah, you could get a little 2-pound pompano. It's going to fight you like an 80-pound blue cat or something. It's just like, what's going on here?
Right. You're right. It's fun though. Ocean fishing's the best, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely is.
So Mr. Scroggs wants to know what we all have stirred in at the moment. So what was that you were working on at the steel house there?
That there is just kind of my basic corn mash. I was just running through a strip and run. I mean, I mash in 30 barrels at a time, but I end up running off 5 at a time. So that's just basic simple corn mash. Nothing special around this time. So, but here soon, hopefully before the September 6th, we get something around the ball and rolling out for somebody, but we'll see how that plays out.
So back in Ohio, like, were you running steels back when you were back in the area?
Yeah, just a little small 40-gallon pot right on the side of the creek beds.
Okay, so you were running
just enough to serve you, just enough to serve the little, your friends around there, some parties and benefit areas and stuff like that. Now, keep a little bit of change dangling.
What was your go-to back at home, like before you became the legal guy? What was your weapon of choice? Your drink of choice?
Man, my drink of choice is probably what I just ran off a couple weeks ago. It's probably gonna be a mixed berry. So my mixed berry is going pretty good, but I also got a sweet outlaw that's actually pretty good too. So it's kind of like a sugar cookie based caramel. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm not gonna say everything, but
Okay.
Can't go wrong with sugar cookie either. Sugar cookie, man. Boom. Christmas cookies, sugar cookies.
But I did just change the name of it, so it is Sweet Outlaw now. But this right here was my beginning label for it.
Okay.
It was Joe's Cookie Caramel Delight. And I was like, nah, it's a little bit too feminine. So Miss Jennifer, like I said, Jennifer White, she's the one that owns the place. We got hooked up together and all that with everything. So she changed it up on me, and she's like, "How you like that?" And I was like, "Man, I love it. I love the way that new look looks. Let's just roll with it." So
how did you
Jennifer Wyatt? She's got an outlaw name. That's an outlaw name, Jennifer Wyatt.
It might be so.
Sounds like it. I'm just saying, it sounds like an outlaw name. She's got some 6 guns on her, man.
Yeah, awesome. You're thinking of Mr. Wyatt Earp. I think that's where that Wyatt's coming in on you.
I think there, so. I've been watching a lot of old westerns lately, so that's probably why that's coming to me to think that.
That's funny. So how did you get hooked up with Miss Wyatt?
Truthfully, I mean, I just kind of once I moved down here, and I heard that they'd had some ads out on the radio and stuff, and I kind of heard about it through the radio, and I stopped in out here one day, it was late one night, we was drinking a little bit, and I was like, man, let's run out here to this distillery, see what it's about. So we come out and I tried it out, and then I don't know, it was just last year, and then here this year, just kind of came across each other. Yeah, look, there she is saying she's an outlaw. So
I was gonna say, there she is. I didn't want to interrupt. Keep on there.
And then we come across each other on social media. We just kind of started talking, and just hit everything off like that. We come out, and then I told her, I was like, look, I'll come to work for you. I was like, I'll quit another job right now, and I will come to work for you. That's how much of a passion for this moonshine that I have. And it wasn't, I think, maybe a week later, I come out, and we met, and introduced ourselves and stuff like that. And I went and I gave my 2 weeks notice, and I started working for him. So, I mean, and then from nothing turns into best friends. So
see, and I
can't
think
go wrong with it.
That's awesome, because like, I feel like, you're going into a work relationship. And I guess what I'm trying to say is she purely is just going off of like your word when she hires you at first, and then you put something in front of her.
Energy, man.
Yeah,
that's all energy.
Off her socks, and she was like,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah, there was definitely something put out there. So
okay. So she was definitely like, okay, my man can distill here. So we're gonna.
Yeah.
Well, that's the full circle energies coming through for Joe and for her.
Yeah.
They meet like that. You know what I'm saying? And
oh yeah,
it's
for
funny
sure.
how life sets those paths at certain times. I sound like I'm like so kind of hippie right now, like. But
you're right. Yeah, Tarzan, you were right on the money with that, man. I know where you're coming from with it. So
it's cool. Like,
awesome.
And then I think going into it, like not knowing each other going into it is probably a little easier too. You know what I mean? Because now you can experiment, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, as far as like, you don't want to step on somebody's toes when you're coming in there, like, oh, are these your recipes? Let me throw in mine.
Exactly. And I'd never done that, not one time. So, and it's kind of funny because it was just like, she showed me, everybody stills a little bit different, but 90% of them work, they work the same. Almost every still works the same. So, I mean, coming into it, she showed me how to do this, showed me how to do that. And then she, the next run, she kind of stepped back and just watched. Well, here come that third run. She's just like, here's this. You don't need my help. You know exactly what you're doing. It was just those couple weeks of trial runs, she's just kind of sitting and watching. So,
right.
And that's kind of the best part about it is, I mean, I love how people will sit and watch somebody. And then once they realize, man, these people know exactly what they're doing from everything that they told me that they did. I can see that they're not lying about this, or not lying about that, and that's kind of the best part about some people. So they can see that true person with just, within just hours, minutes, or even a week of even meeting somebody. So,
you know what I find cool about like distilling, like I got a friend, like he comes up here all the time, and I'll give him something, or he'll come here while I'm running, and he's like blown away, right? He's like, he looks at me like I'm a freaking magician, right? He's like, dude, you make it, and I'm sure you get this too, bro. Like, they're like, you make it look so easy. How do you do this? And I'm like, listen, man,
you don't want to know.
Hard work, bro. I mean,
it is,
and it could be even harder if we're doing it outside. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not even harder. It is harder when you're doing it outside, especially when you're walking this far this way and back this far this way through woods, and you got to carry all this. But then can you come legal? Okay, you're just like, okay, take 10 steps this way, get me this. Take 2 steps this way, get me that. Don't even break a sweat. I mean, come on.
Right, exactly, dude. The best shit I heard was, when we were filming Tickle, somebody asked Tickle, they were like, Tickle's over there complaining, and he's like, man, I have people ask me to teach him how to moonshine all the time. He says, you know what I do? I take them in a truck. He says, and we go way up yonder in the woods, and we go way to the top of that there mountain. He says, and we get out, and I tell him, you pick up 2 of these blocks, and you need to take them up on top of that hill.
Yeah.
He said, and just when they go to set them blocks down, you say, no, take them back to the truck, and then bring them back, and then set them down, because that's exactly what moonshining is.
Yeah. Back and forth, back and forth. Exactly right. Yeah, because you might think you got everything, and the next thing you know, you're looking for the smallest thing. You're like, oh damn, it's in the truck. Now I gotta
It's
walk.
all the way
Now I gotta
back
walk
there.
a mile and a half back through the woods, up and down hills, across 4 different creeks, just to be able to get to it.
That sounds like getting my tools at work every day. It's always
Oh,
leaving something. I'm like, oh man, I gotta walk back down there, all that, So I understand that.
Oh yeah.
that's right, man. That for sure. So, so give us a funny one. So, what was probably give us one of your worst little mishaps distilling, like something that came, like something that you were probably looking forward to come out like a giant turd, or like
Man.
just like, God damn it, man, this should have been better. Because we all
other than blowing a cap about 200 foot in the sky one night. I mean,
that's the story we want to hear.
well, I mean, it's funny, but it's not. I mean, you know how much money's in one of them?
Oh, bro, absolutely.
But no, me and a buddy of mine.
Arrows.
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine was, we fired up the still, one night or one afternoon. Well, actually, it wasn't afternoon. It was probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And it got maybe about halfway through it. And we're maybe about a quarter mile up the creek. And then we hear some thunder rolling. Like, oh man. So, so we're moseying our way back. So we jump out of the creek and then come back, trying to run down the hill. And here comes just a downpour. We ain't got no cover, no nothing over nothing. It's just stills, tanks, everything just sitting right in the wide open. So we come back and about halfway there, we hear, what was that? Boom!
Oh.
Well, it was downpouring. It was downpouring at the bottom of the hill. Well, the bottom of the hill where it still was sitting at, right where 2 creeks came together at. And man, that thing cooled down so quick, you ain't had no time. It sucked in and just exploded up. Man,
so you heard it suck in. You heard that.
Yeah,
vacuum.
Yes, exactly. So the vacuum sucked in quick, and that's all it took. It wasn't but maybe 5 seconds after that you hear, boom, and that thing just when the smoke was rolling, steam everywhere. So that's probably my worst. That's probably my worst one. But
so that I didn't blow the cap off of ours. I was trying to show somebody once. I know how you feel there, dude. Like I was trying to show somebody how to make shine once, and I was eating McDonald's in the next room, and he come back in, and he was like, "Dude, this thing's hissing." And I'm like,
oh shit.
I'm like, dude, this still shouldn't be hissing. What are you talking about? So I go out there like thinking like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Hey, dude, the water was literally boiling in the worm. And I'm like, what the? So, dude, I'm making to the front of the still to go turn the flame off. And just as I got to the front of the still, it blew up. Boom, like this. So what had happened was I had a mud wasp go up my worm.
Oh, man.
Bro, packed it up like, dude, probably at least that far up the coil, right? Dude, oh my God, I lost 3 inches of my beard, my eyelashes. Every time I blinked, I had to like open them.
Mohawk is actually permanent. You burnt the sides off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like that's the recent shave, then, isn't it? I'm just kidding.
This is all
that's
new,
that
man.
gray. That's that gray in there. That's scarring. That's scarring.
Look, I couldn't do it, but my gray's coming through. It's patchy on both sides. I'm gonna look like, I don't know, like a double skunk here in the next couple of years. But
that's same here, brother. It's something to me there today. They're like,
I got enough for both of you. It happens fast, fellas. Let me tell you, it happens fast.
They were bitching about not having a collar. I'm like, well, fuck, I'll put a collar. And then they're like, well, I do a tie. So now I was like,
yeah, not too
just tie it up. Just tie it up. You'll be all right.
So what's coming up for you, man? Like, are you guys now? I know, and I'm talking event wise because I know you're out there. Last time I had talked, you were out and you were at a festival pushing your.
Oh shine. Yeah. We was in Melbourne, Florida. It's down between Daytona and Miami, about halfway in between Daytona and Miami on the Atlantic side of Florida. We was down there for a Tacos and Treats festival. It was a 321 festival through I forget who it was through. But we actually have to go back 6th, 7th, and 8th of June for the same place, same places. But now it's a 3-day event instead of a 2. But yeah, I mean, we kind of went down. We set up, like I said, it's a big tacos and treats festival. They got food vendors, and merch vendors everywhere, and just small private little people like us, So
right,
trying to set up a lot bigger than a farmer's market. I'll tell you that. So
sounds like fun.
And it's a blast. It's a blast.
I love those kind of things, Jason. I can't wait till we're on the road nonstop.
Me neither. Me neither. I don't like being home.
Right. Okay.
There's work when you got to come home. So now I'm just messing.
Now, do you go from where you're at now back to Ohio? Do you back and forth, or you're there now?
No, not too much from Ohio. I relocated from Ohio down here. Like I said, it'll be 3 years in March, so it's about 2.5 years now I've been here. So we ended up relocating down here. My mother moved down here, man, 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago. I mean, it's been that long. So, I mean, she's just getting a little bit older, you know, but I mean, she still gets around good and all that, but kind of come down and be a little bit closer to her and help her out a little bit more. I was on layoff doing asphalt, like I was saying. So my brother, you know, he's got his stuff set, you know, he's not able to leave. So I was like, you know what, I'll pack up, you know, pack the kids up, you know, all of us, we come right on down. So, and I look at it as, man, it's kind of the best thing that I've done in a long time, probably that I can even think of even doing. So, and it's working out damn good. So it's a blessing.
Cool. Absolutely super cool here. We got all kinds of people.
How old were you when you started hunting? How old were you?
Oh shit! I killed my first deer when I was 6 years old.
Okay, so between now and when you started hunting, you've spent endless hours in the woods, in the tree stand. You've been out there for hours and hours in Ohio.
Sun up to sundown. Yep.
Have you ever seen or heard Bigfoot?
Man, you know, this isn't the first time I've been asked that question. You definitely hear some weird ass shit when you're in the woods, especially before daylight and after dark. You know, you're sitting in there, you know, an hour up to an hour, a little over an hour before daylight, and after dark, you know, you just still don't want to get down, you know, because you're still seeing something, you're still hearing something. But I can't say yeah, and I won't say no because you never know what the heck it is. But there's definitely some weird things out there after dark or you know before daylight.
I've had a couple experiences like that too, where I can't say that I could even tell you what I heard at the moment, but I could tell you the one time, and I had a guy coming in to actually run camera with me, and he wasn't a very experienced hunter, and whatever we heard in the morning was not something natural to the woods around here in Pennsylvania. It could have possibly been a bear. It almost more sounded like a hog or something big, and it
was a woman.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I turned to the guy that was running camera. Obviously, we weren't filming yet. We were just going up to the stand. I said, "What was that?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. You're the hunter. What was that?" I don't know what that was.
Right. Somebody done turned their sister loose.
Somebody's looking for it. Nobody's looking for that.
Nah. It's like that was my wife. I just cut her loose. She's running.
Oh goodness. Hallelujah.
I'm not commenting on any of that good stuff.
Me neither. But I bet he's not the only one that's turned that old lady loose. So I'll tell you that.
She's running with the big feet.
But I will say something. It'll give you chills to your bones. Is when you're sitting in your tree stand or you're just sitting in the woods. And you just hear something that just lets out as a big scream, and you don't know if it's a baby crying or if it's a woman screaming or if it's two cats, you know, going at it, you know. So, yeah. And I was sitting here at the still house about a month and a half ago. You know, I got the radio turned up a little bit, you know, so I walk outside and, you know, I smoke cigarettes. So I walked outside to smoke a cigarette. I don't want to be in there, you know, and all that. So, and then just, what the heck is that? Well, it's just like, damn. Okay. Well, we're in Southeast Alabama, you know, 12 minutes from Florida, 6 minutes from Georgia, you know. Well, what is that? Well, I don't know. All I know is it was a big cat. Well, we had some piglets come up missing. So, and there's been a couple chickens missing. So I don't know. All I got to say is I don't know if it's a panther or what it is or, you know, something up this way. So.
Okay. So
the Black Panthers are interesting because they get seen throughout the country every once in a while.
I've seen one my whole life 2 years ago.
Panther. Who was that?
I've seen one my whole life, and that was 2 years ago. I was on my way to Eufaula, Alabama, leaving here out of Dothan, and I was going up. I think it was 431. We just looked over. Me and a buddy of mine I was working with at the time looked over, and all you seen was just this black cat. And man, I'm not kidding you. I bet its tail was about 2 foot long and about as big as round as a softball.
Oh, whoa.
Well, we got looking at pictures, and that's the only thing that we could think of that it was like a panther. That was it. That's the only thing that looks just like him.
Bro, I don't even know what I would do. Like, I could only imagine what I would do if I saw a bear in the woods. Like, I get bear on my trail cameras, like where I'm at here, you know what I mean? But like, dude, a freaking panther or like a jaguar or like, I don't know. But going back to that sound, dude, so I had a perfect. I know exactly. Like, you're making my hair stand up thinking about it, and
I can see that up there. It's
so this happened to me twice. I think last year I was in my woods behind my house, directly behind here, and dude, I got up in my stand and I just started hearing this yap yap yap, and it was real loud. And I'm talking like, dude, I was like, what the is that? Like I'm pulling my flashlight out, like, dude, no, fuck this, right? So I tell Rich, I said, dude, I'm up in my stand. I hear some crazy fucking noise, right? So following season, I go over across the street, and dude, I'm sitting in my stand, and I'm just when you're like, you can start to like be part of the earth.
Yeah.
Dude, and it was the loudest screech and scream. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I probably had to change my underwear because I was just like, and then it was right behind me, dude, like literally. And they were some kind of red-billed duck.
You got scared of a little old duck.
Dude, hey, listen, at 2:30 or 4 in the morning, you don't know if that duck's
Hey, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You think tree limbs just 10 foot in front of you look like a 200-inch deer at 30 yards.
Get
So
in that tree fast enough.
Hey, one time I was up in Maine hunting, and I was actually just grouse hunting real quick. We were deer hunting. We came in for lunch, and I just didn't even want to eat lunch. I ran out and I did some grouse hunting, and I jumped a moose, and it was one of the first times I saw a moose kind of close, and it was moving fast through the brush. It was thick, and I only caught the front end of the moose, like the legs, the chest, and the head, and I didn't see the rest of the body. It looked like a Bigfoot, like it because the head, the way the head was, and the legs. And
I mean, they are tall.
It was like 10 foot. It was tall, you know. I was like, it because my mind. I'm not used to seeing a deer that size, a deer type animal that size. So my mind didn't register correctly at first, and it registered as a Bigfoot, like the front of the moose, because it was just a cow. It didn't have any antlers. So I was like. And then I saw the body come out, and then my brain clicked in. But there was a couple seconds there where I thought I saw a Bigfoot, but it was a moose.
Your brain, you think you see things that's not there sometimes because you want to see.
Look, there's this bag. There's this bag right across the street from where I'm sitting at right now. Okay, it was a couple of weeks ago. I was out running stills. I was running the finish run, and I got looking, and it was right before dark, and I got looking. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, I know I'm not tripping, but that looks like a big old buck coming up out of the ditch line, If you go back through my stuff, I'll send you the video. I still got it. I'll send you the video. But I was like, I know I haven't tasted this moonshine that much. I know I'm not drunk. Am I tripping or what's going on? But the way the bag is sitting up, it's got like holding up on like sticks. So you got one side of it's going this way, one side of it's going this way, but it looks like it's leaning forward, just like rolling over. I'm sitting here looking at the bag right now too. Every time I see it, it reminds me of that day.
See, that's the best part. You could tell a hunter, like, dude. That's, if it's brown and it's in the
down.
It's going down, dude. Like it, the littlest doe could have been the biggest deer in the whole world that day.
Yeah.
So
the buck bag would be a good flavor.
Here's my next question.
Buck in a bag.
When you're in the still house and you're making shine, what are you jamming out on the radio? What are you rocking to nowadays?
Man, if you're talking to me with that, it's gonna run at my classic rock, like my Zeppelin, my Motley Crues, my Rush, some stuff like that. And then it's gonna be some, some old 90s country and just a little bit of today's country. I'll just throw on just a little mix with it.
Okay, mix. All right. Now, is there anything that you say you're listening to, like some good, Southern rock or something like that that's gonna, I don't know, push you to make something different or push that boundary, that helps push that boundary a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, is there any certain band that's going to make you really be like fired up? Like, what's that band? Like, for me, it's Pantera or Slayer, dude. Like, if I'm going to go in that motherfucker and make moonshine, I'm making it rip, dude.
That's more or less when the Motley Crue and the old Ozzy kicks in effect right there. So, I mean, that's just kind of my era with it. So,
okay, nothing wrong with that.
I saw Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon tour, and what was it? They opened up for Motley Crue. Opened up for him. It was Shout at the Devil tour. So it was Motley Crue and Ozzy together was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
They got a bunch of mess about that too. They didn't know what they were saying about the devil. So
yeah, Jakey Lee would play guitar for Ozzy in that show.
Hey, is that when Ozzy was snorting lines of ants and shit like that off the ground?
Ah, man, you're talking about the movie now. Come on now.
I'm sure.
But I've seen Ozzy one time, and I want to say it was 2000. Man, it was his last tour that he just did. Zach Wilde was there playing guitar for him. I seen him at the Cleveland Blossom Music Center in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was I think it was his last Oz Fest concert tour or whatever it was. It was just here, just like I said, it was just a few years back. And I was actually, when I was married, it was actually on my anniversary is when I seen it. My buddy Rob came to the house, and he said, what are you doing on this date? Or on the 16th? It was September 16th when the concert was. I said, nothing. I said, it's my anniversary. And he says, man, I got an extra ticket. A buddy of ours, he had passed away unexpectedly, and he was supposed to go. It was Justin Maffett. And Rob told me, he said, I got an extra ticket. It was Justin's. But the big thing is, it's my son's 16th birthday. He said, so do you want to go? And I looked over at my wife at the time. I said, man, I was like, she said, you go. She said, isn't this Ozzy's last go around about it? She didn't really get into that, that type of music and stuff. So I said, yeah. I said, but listen, I said, this is like a once in a lifetime thing that's about to happen. I said, it's either now or never. She did not say bat an eye. She said, yeah, go ahead and go. And I'll tell you what, man, that's one of the best concerts that I've been to in my life. And I've been to concerts out the ass, man.
That's awesome, dude. Fuck yeah. See, like Ozzy and all them, I love them, dude. Ozzy, Motley Crue, all that.
Yep. Zach Wilde, Zach Wilde, he was with what?
Pantera.
Black Label Society and stuff too.
Yes.
Pride and Glory.
Yeah, well, he come walking through the crowd, with that double neck electric guitar, just jamming out on both of them. Flips it upside down, comes over and hands it, just faces it towards the crowd. People just sitting there, just jamming out on the strings. Man, that's a blast.
I love it.
I named my son after Zach Wilde. My son's name is Zakk, just like Zach Wilde.
Oh, really? So that's dope.
I named my son after Zach. Yeah,
that's cool.
I've always been in love with Ozzy and really always loved Zach Wilde. I mean, Jason asked me the other day if there was someone that was a passed away musician that I could dig up, who would it be? And I said Randy Rhoads for sure.
Yeah, that's who who was it that Zach wrote that song In the River for? Wasn't that it was for somebody he played with?
The guy from Pantera. It was Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah, Dimebag Darrell. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was sad. That's a sad situation, that guy getting shot like that. And unfortunately you expose yourself to a lot of people. There's some crazy people out there that might dislike you.
Oh yeah. It don't matter who you are. Somebody's always gonna hate you. I mean, you go walk in public, somebody's gonna look at you all stupid anyway. So
right. Hey, so
that's me every time I get out of the house. So
right.
Every day.
Right. Okay, so here's a question now. How did Jen come up with the name Hoochie Hooch? Where did she come up with that?
Actually, her and her sister is the ones that started this, and they look at it as they're hooch, women, they're just saying they're hoochies. So they say hoochies make the best hooch. So Hoochie Hooch just stuck.
Definitely, it seems like a woman made that name up, but it's not a bad thing. But Hoochie,
no, not at all. I mean, the new labels.
Yeah.
And if you would just happen to see the new shipping labels, man, you guys would be like, oh, those are bad. I just got to have a line of them across the top of my shelf. I mean, that's just how good they look. I'm dead serious.
I just want a couple jars of them flavors, man. Some of them flavors sound so good.
They'll look good next to the heavy metal moonshine logo, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully one day I can get it out there. We'll see.
That's what we're hoping to do. So just hoping everything kind of comes out pretty good. I mean, nothing's going to end up being too much of a mess. So We're taking it slow. I mean, everything happens. You know, when it happens, it happens. You can't stop
Yep.
it.
And
So we're trying to slow everything down a little bit so it's nothing overwhelmed.
that's exactly what everybody keeps telling me too, especially with being in the industry and stuff like that. They were like, just don't rush it, man. Like you just got to get in there, get your feet in, and just
and ride with it for a while.
Yeah,
Yep.
ride with it and watch who you work with. You know what I mean? You got to really watch.
Slow and steady.
Yep. Well, as of now, I mean, the only people that's here running everything, man, is me and Jennifer. You know, I mean, we're kind of the only ones that is doing anything around here. So, I mean, yeah, we do have help, and we have our distributors, you know, stuff like that. You know, they help out on all that good basis. You know, and we wouldn't be anywhere without them people. So, you know, I mean, it's props to everyone. So,
so do you like working with her? Like, is it hard working? You know what I mean? Like, you have your way, does she have her way, or do you guys just kind of, all right, well, let's do this our way?
kind of, truthfully, it's our way. I mean, because from when I started, you know, from how long she's been doing it, you know, where it came from, you know, in her family, all them years, you know, the back years, you know, it's histories. So it's just kind of blended. We know we talked about everything. We got everything blended together. And then now everything's just kind of seemed to find that happy medium place. And now everything's just kind of riding smooth. And nothing has changed. I mean, this is still her company. And I still tell her that every day, look, this is your company. You know, if you have input or if I have an input, I'm not going to do anything behind you. I'm going to tell you what. If you can't agree on it, we're going to find another different place. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, she kind of leaves everything up to me. You know, she takes care of everything, you know, but when it comes to having to do all the hard work, it's on me. She's seen how I do everything. And I mean, there's no problem with it. So
that's got to be cool though, dude. Going in there, meeting somebody and then like, jumping into that role, doing it, backing up what you're talking. And then like not very long into it, they're like, here's the keys, bro.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's exactly kind of what had happened. You know, I mean, I kind of looked at it as, man, well, should I do this or should I not do this? You know, because everything did happen a little bit fast. You're just, then it makes you realize and you kind of stop and take a step back, you know, and you have to think about it. And then after you see how everything's playing out, like, okay, well, then you kind of have your thoughts in your head, like, okay, well, I could do this and it may be this a little bit better, or I might be able to do this and mix with this, or, or change a little bit of this. Boom. Everything's just, man, when I tell you everything's kind of falling in line the way that it should be, it's falling in line the way that it fucking should be. So
that's awesome, dude. And you can't, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, when everything's aligned and you're like, man, this is kind of
that happens to every entrepreneur though, is you're stepping up to that cliff. You're making a life decision and you're used to a regular job, 9 to 5. You're used to that regular paycheck, but now you're jumping into a more of a bohemian lifestyle. You're creating your own way. And you have to take that step off the cliff to become successful. You have to take that chance. You got to grow the set of nuts for that day to move forward and take that chance. Because you know what? We can all fall back to that 9 and 5 crap. You know
at any time you want to. It's just nothing but saying I'm done. That's all it is.
That's it. Creating and saying I want to create more than I want to, I want to create my own thing more than I want to create someone else's. Or like,
oh yeah,
I love creating with Jason. Like, I feel like when you're talking about your partnership with her, you're talking about my partnership with Jason because he's offered me opportunity. Heavy Metal Moonshine is his brand. It's not mine,
Exactly
so, like,
right. And
I have the opportunity to come in and support him and help him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel lucky. So I feel like I'm kind of in the same position you are. I've been handed a key, and now it's up to me to
Rich, I gave you the key to the fucking
respectfully.
Look, I would have to say that it's almost the exact same boat, and we're probably floating up the same damn river. You're just a little bit ahead of me. So,
hey, I don't know.
I give both of you guys props. Just as much as you guys are sitting there, awarding and applauding me too. So, I like that a lot.
I need to get down there and like I want to see like, I mean, because look, I was in Sugarland Shine and I was kind of like, holy shit, they make this many flavors. But then I saw your menu and listen, bro, I thought I was like at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like that.
Look, you might be at the Cheesecake Factory, but look, listen, you know how you're at Sugarland, you got all this stuff up there in Tennessee, that's a bigger place, you right or wrong. I've been there. I know it's a decently sized good
Yeah.
place. You know,
Hey,
this starting
you
out,
take
it's still
factory malt
small. Like
liquor.
literally, like this is still small. You know, so the only thing I'm gonna say is we have a nice, beautiful store. We have a kitchen where we do our flavoring at. We got a still house. We have a restroom. Anything else you want to see, come on out and check it out. So,
Ooh, I like
but
We're coming.
don't get your expectations up. You know, that you're about to walk into a White House or something. You know, listen, this is
that.
moonshine.
That's
You
not how
know,
we like it.
this is moonshine, brother.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
Listen,
We
you
want
know,
a cabin. We want a cabin out in the woods, you know. So
Look, do
like
you not see what I'm sitting in right now? Come on now.
right? That's
beautiful.
what's
I'm sitting in a cabin. I'm sitting in a cabin in a pasture.
up.
That makes me feel good. There definitely should be a little country music going on in there for
Right?
sure.
Well, I mean, I got the TV on pause, but I mean,
Have to play some
Right.
Gary Burke in there. And hey, thanks to
Yeah,
Gary
man.
last
and
week
then
too.
and like I
Coming
said, I
on
mean,
the show.
we can't go wrong with the
Gary,
awards
thank
from
you.
our BlackBerry. Yep, and these right here's the 2 awards from our BlackBerry. That's the gold medal for the best in
Oh
the South,
wow.
and then the silver medal for the second in the United States with that. So,
Bro, so here's a question.
Damn.
So what at what point were you like, I'm gonna enter this into that? And were you nervous as hell?
no, I can't take credit for that. No, this right here is before me, so I can't
Okay.
do that. But I still keep making them same flavors, and I still follow their recipes on that. They have their own, and I have my own. So that's why I said when we find that happy medium, we let everything ride through. But that's actually going to be on Jennifer herself. That's her recipe. She came up with that, and she got everything worked out right. And from what I've heard, it took her about 8 months to get everything perfect. She was
Yeah.
too many
Perfect
downfalls
catch.
and too many of this, and then now we're actually in the middle of working on a clear blackberry. So, and not just we used a little bit of something to change the color up. You know, it's like a little purplish color, but now it's going to be straight back to a clear spring water color. So, if
Yo,
you know how
that's
that's
two
going to run
dangerous
through.
minds.
Yeah.
Two
So,
dangerous minds working together, making something
Listen,
beautiful right
I
there.
know. I see that there. Like, look at that, man.
Oh wow.
Dude, I'm like a moth to the flame when you hold that up. My eye, my wow. What is that, man?
that is actually that's actually that last mixberry run that I done. So
Okay.
that's just a sipping jar of. So it's been sitting here for a couple weeks. I think there's about that much out of it. So.
Well, listen, man. If I was looking at your cream liqueur menu as well there, and I mean, if they don't pick mine, I mean, they should make it. I don't know. I'm just saying it would look good on your menu if two trees don't make it. Yeah.
Yeah, would you have in that about 6 different pastries?
Maybe like 8, but
I know it's quite a bit. I think
listen,
it almost looked like you might have been a little overwhelmed for a minute, but
listen, dude. I'll be honest. This is how it went down, right? So when I was on there, I was the first and only one to smell my bread and look at it. So I was breaking it open, right? And I had a plan. And note to self: never tell anybody in a competition you have a plan, and let them know what
Oh,
that plan is.
yeah, they'll take
Okay,
everything from you.
they did. That's
Jason
exactly
found that out
real fast.
firsthand.
Yeah, they took the steel from me because they were like, "Oh, what kind of steel you like to use?" I just tell them, I've been running a thumper at home.
Now
They see,
you was what? Now you was what, third to go into the still into the place or whatever it was, whatever they click on them call it in there. Oh, would you was first? Okay.
first. So this is how it went. So Nate pulled the straw. He got first pick on the very, very, very first run we went. So he got the pick like on the breads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then I got second and she went third. And then hers worked all the way off. So she went first. Mine worked just a little bit more than Nate. So I was second on that one. And then he went home. And then I was first into the post distillation room to pick my flavors. So, and dude, there was so much they didn't show on there. Like,
Oh, I believe it. I applied, so I just hope to hear something.
bro, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, you just gotta stand. I mean, you're not the typical. I'm not the typical. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
that typical moonshiner look, bro. And I think that's what got me looked at first of all. You know what I mean? And then maybe the moonshine stills and the American flags and the fucking whatever.
That's just living your country. That's just living the American dream, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit.
But
maybe my past TV experience will help me out just a little bit. You never know. So.
What were you?
Don't even ask it. I ain't gonna tell you. Don't even ask. What? Just look up Jerry Springer, bro. On the season.
Oh,
you were on Springer.
Oh man, it was a blast. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, it wasn't the episode where the girls threw up on you, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was the episode where the wife beat the shit out of you episode, but
wait, you weren't the one getting your butt kicked, were you?
No, but man, she's got a hell of a left hook, I'll tell you that.
You have to look it up. I wish we had a clip of that.
Look, I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to pull it up or not and put it onto this, but it's Jerry Springer. It's 8 positions in 23 minutes, but it's like 2 brothers or something like that. I'm not for sure. So
let me see. All right, Rich. I'm gonna look this up real quick. You take over.
It's hilarious, man. Like there was a woman on there. I'd never met her until that day. Her name was Erica. But man, let me tell you what. If I had a repeat to be able to do it again, I'd do it again if that man was still alive.
Now, how did you get on there? Did you have to like go on and say I want to come on the show, or
man,
how did you get on there?
My little cousin Hope, she's a few years younger than me. She called me one day and she was like, "Hey, do you guys want to be on Jerry Springer?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." She's like, "Listen, they're gonna fly us out tonight from Columbus, Ohio, if you're ready to go." I was like, "Wait a minute, are you for real?"
She had a cousin contact them and say that this is going on.
Yeah, well, she messaged them saying something. I don't know what she said. She wasn't at my house or nothing like that. But next thing I know is I'm talking to the lady Kayla, which is the producer for Jerry Springer show. She's asking me all these questions. She wanted a couple pictures, and I sent them. And she said, "Okay." She said, "Well, it's too late to get you on a flight tonight, so we're gonna post this one until the following day for filming." So, and she said, "But your plane leaves at like 9:30 tomorrow morning." I'm like, "Oh shit." She said, "Your tickets will be at the gate. Just make sure you got your 2 forms of ID." We went straight to Columbus, Ohio, and flew straight into JFK, got off of there, got in private cars, and went straight to Stamford, Connecticut. I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man. It seems so unreal."
It was like, now, cool. Hey, then you get put on the stage, and then you're sitting there thinking like, what the F did I just do?
Yeah, it was. You're just, you got to stand there, and they just like, stand here, stand there, and then they come to us and tell me a big lie. What I mean? They're like, "Okay, well, at the time, they said your wife knows this, but your wife knows that." And I was like, "Okay, well, come find out." She didn't know nothing about it. They lied to us. So when that woman come out, she was really mad. That's why I said she got a hell of a mean left hook. So.
Oh, damn. Are you still with the same one?
I don't know about that one, but that hook is dangerous, man. So, but no.
It's so awesome. I love that. That's a great story.
Meanwhile, she's behind the camera going, "You better."
She was behind the backstage watching the TV of it, but she had no clue. And what it was they come and they was like, "Do you want to be a part-time boyfriend, to this girl and stuff?" Is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's kind of, some of it's a little scripted, some of it, they kind of base some stuff off of real life and then throw it into the script, to make it better, for TV. You know how that goes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it come to it. She said, "Okay." She said, "Well, once you guys, you're talking, you agree to this part-time boyfriend, would you guys want to seal it with seal the deal with a kiss?" And I looked at that woman. I said, I said, "You better go." I said, "You better go talk to Amanda about that one." I said, "Because that's kind of adultery, She said, "Okay." She said, "Well," she left and she come back and she said, it was about an hour later. She come back. She said, "Okay, Amanda knows all about it, and all this." No, they never went and talked to her. Not one bit. Not one bit did they go talk. So when we go seal the deal, on the show, and we're right on camera, on stage, she's like, "Okay, we want to seal the deal with the kiss." You want to seal the deal with the kiss, we lean in, this is kind of, you got to hide a thumb, so nobody sees it, hit a thumb. So it's just thumb to thumb, lip. Well, the camera don't show that part. So to her, she's backstage and she sees it. She's like, "Oh, fuck no." So, man, when she comes out on stage, she is pissed. And she lets me have it. She said, okay, now she's going to swing a couple times, block a couple and then let her connect. I blocked the wrong damn one, I'll tell you that. I mean, she cracked me, man. My shit said, boom. I'm like, damn, woman.
So, and this wasn't even like your real woman though, right?
The one that hit me at the time, yeah, it was. It was the wife at the time.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what made it worse about it. Like, they didn't tell her
bullshit.
Yeah, they fed her some bullshit. Like, they didn't say nothing about, okay, well, he's going to kiss this woman about this. That's how they keep the ratings up. They just don't do it. So the fights look real. That's how they do it.
Joe,
I don't know if I should even be saying that, to tell you the truth. They might come back and try to sue me over it or something now. So I don't know.
So wait,
Joe, are you married? Are you married now?
Yeah, still legally, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To the same woman?
Legally to the same one, yeah. But I mean, like together wise, no, it's Jennifer.
Is Jennifer there? We want to say hi to Jennifer.
She's not here. She's actually she's working. She's out of town, but she's been commenting on here. So
that's I keep seeing her little over here. I'm like, all right, I see. Coughs isn't scripted. Daniel would know all about that. Daniel's newly to the outlaw world.
How you doing, Mr. Daniel?
He's a good friend of mine.
Actually, I think that name just popped up on my Facebook a little bit ago. I think I just sent you a friend request a little bit ago, if I don't believe.
Yeah, that's the best story ever.
Bad boys. What you
my
gonna
friend
do?
Right here. This lady
it's like the pink lights flashing in my face. So
I know it's like the cops are outside waiting for you, bro.
It's getting darker. That's the moonshine light. It's just pink.
Here's some. So how much ink do you have, man? Are you got tattoos or what?
Altogether like 45, I think, something like that.
Man, he's all inked up. So
there's my chest, it's my legs, my arms.
Joe, we're gonna party, bro. So, we're gonna party, bro. It's on.
See, when you come across
I think I've done all but 3
from the road. Like,
let's do it.
A couple of years, we're gonna have to podcast from the road because we're gonna have to go to all these places.
Yes. So me and Rich are both tattoo artists as well.
I kind of hung it up. It was, it's something to do. So I got into it for a few years, and then I kind of, just jump out. You jump in and out of certain things, in your life. So that's kind of what it was. I got into it for about 3 years. I made some money. I worked at a shop for about a year and a half. I got, I had an apprenticeship. I ended up getting licensed, but
that's what's nice. That's what I tell people all the time. So it's like I have 2 tools in my belt that if God forbid something happens and I had to go somewhere, like I can always make moonshine, which will sell anywhere, and I can always tattoo, which are like, those are 2 easiest forms of money. Fuck, you don't even have to have money, and we can fucking make a deal.
Yep. Another thing is you gotta have some type of mechanical mindset when it comes to working on some stuff. So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
And then, like I said, growing up in the woods and growing up in the garage, man, for me, there's nothing better than that. I mean,
all right. So here's one more: Steelers or Browns?
Man, you hit it right on the head. I come from Ohio, so the Cleveland Brown Stadium, it wasn't but an hour and a half, like an hour and 10 minutes north of me, but I got to go with Pittsburgh, man. But I got to go with my Steelers. I mean, but the Cleveland Browns the past couple of years, they're doing something.
They're making
the Browns are doing something. Bro. So they got that old stadium up north. They've been rumbling the past couple of years. So
at least they got a fucking quarterback.
Oh yeah, yeah. For once, you ain't got to flush the commode to take them to the bowl no more. Let me tell you what.
Right. I might be showing up to the Steeler games in a fucking paper bag this year, man. Like, yeah. Well, listen, Joe, tell everybody where they can get a hold of you, man, where they can find your stuff. And you guys are shipping online too, right?
Yeah, yep. We are. You can go straight to our website at HoochieHoochDistillery.com. Or you can find us, through Google, or you can go to our Facebook page at Hoochie Hooch Distillery. You can look at that, and then you can also pre-order now online at our website. And like I said, June 1st, we start shipping. We have a shit ton of pre-orders already, so when the first hits, you know where the bank's going to be, straight to the post office, but well, not post office, but to our shipper. So, but it is direct to consumer shipping, so it's coming straight from us, straight to your damn doorstep. Can't get no better than that. There's no middleman right now, so.
And then where are you located now? So if anybody's in the area, they want to stop in.
We are at 1239 Watson Bridges Road, Dothan, Alabama.
My man, hey, listen, I hope I catch up to you somewhere this summer, dude. Like,
Let's just set it up. Let's set something up and just everybody just get together and just throw something. So,
no, bro, listen.
Even like I said, even if you guys want to come down here, I mean, shit, there's like 25 acres. So we got a big pasture. You bring your campers, do what you want to do. We can sit around. We can do something together. So bring your barbecue grills, your open pits. It don't fucking matter, man.
Ooh, that sounds
good.
For a
good time. We're coming.
Bring
Joe,
it. Bring every damn
coming
buddy.
On our show, Joe. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys even asking, especially you, Jason. I mean, you reached out to me, so I looked at the message when I first got it, like, man, this isn't real, you know. So I kind of waited a little bit. We was at the festival, and I told Jennifer, I was like, Jason messaged me. She said, who? I said, Jason, Master Distiller. She was like, oh, the one with the mohawk, and I said, yeah, him.
So they know me then. So
yeah, because I've talked to Nick Callow too, you know, and stuff like that, you know, and I'm actually we're getting ready to swap some jars around here. I actually just put his in the car a little bit ago. I'm gonna throw him and get it mailed off to him tomorrow. So see what's going on with his peanut butter banana. Hopefully it's just as good as what everybody says. So
listen,
wow, that sounds good.
The peanut butter banana is banging. Nick Kaleo.
Kaleo. Sorry about that. I said it wrong. I knew I did.
Right. It's on the money. I got to hang out with him and JB Raider a couple weeks back.
At that event, man, look, that looked like it was a great turnout. That really looked like it was good. A good event.
The coolest thing for me was just talking to JB a little bit, like getting some of them Popcorn Sutton stories. Like, you know, he's sitting there telling me how they were lighting up propane and Popcorn couldn't get this fucking thing to light. He's all mad. He throws his stuff down. He walks away, comes back 5 minutes later, and he lights it. Well, he never shut it off in the 5 minutes he was gone.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. He lit that thing and blew him clean across the room. Now, dude, I start laughing. I asked him, did you help him up? He said, after I stopped laughing, yeah.
You're damn right. You're damn right. I don't care. I've been doing the same thing.
I just pictured this little skinny, you know, moonshiner flying across the room like,
yeah, that'd be a great T-shirt. Like a still blowing up and blowing them out. That would be a great shirt.
Look, you got something on that one. Look, you guys definitely got something on that. So, especially with some heavy, look, that'd be a perfect heavy metal shirt. I don't give a shit. That'd be perfect.
I mean, and that's what we're about here, brother. Some heavy metal, that's for sure.
That could be a funny, like, AI commercial, too.
Yeah, dude. Yep, that's it. All right, everybody. Hey, Joe, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you coming on, brother.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you much.
I'm going to keep in contact with you, man. And if you let me know where you're going to be and stuff. And if you're close, I'm going to come and find you.
Yeah. Where exactly are you guys at right now?
I'm in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. You're way
in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Fucking Yankees, man. I'm just playing.
Yeah, we're Northerners.
But no, I know. I'm just messing with you. Look, I get that shit all the time down here, man. Like, oh, you're a Yankee, huh? Like, don't you say that. No, I'm not. Like, y'all hear the way I talk?
What are we supposed to call the Southerners?
Winners. No, I don't know. I don't know. Just people, man. I mean, we're all American born, so I mean, we're all humans, brother. We're all the same. We all bleed red, man.
My father's side of the family is all from the South. My father's side of the family. So you know, we're split up, but
Daniel calls me a Yankee all the time. He does. He's like, "Dude, goddamn Yanks," and I'm like, "I ain't Yanking." There ain't no Yank going on. But all right, man. Well, hey, again, we're gonna hop off here. Thank you again, everybody. Joe, thank you. And
yes, sir. Y'all have a great one.
Keep in contact, and I'll be talking to you later, my friend.
Oh yeah, you guys too. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You too, Joe. Thank you. Take care.
Yes, sir. Good to meet you, Tarzan.
You too, brother.
What up, Rich?
What's happening, man? We're live still, so kaboom.
Live.
Still live. That was a great episode. That's